Yo, what is going on, you double dipping today? Coming at you with my newest take on the Calyrex VMAX. And I'm calling it optimal, but of course there's always stuff changing in and out. So right now it feels really, really good, but I'm sure, a couple weeks from now, I'll be playing a completely different build of Calyrex VMAX. But I always like to keep you guys in the loop on what I think is the best play for decks, or what I'm playing for decks on certain builds and whatnot. Yeah, and if you guys always want to stay up to date, at the most up to date with what I am playing, be sure to go check out the live stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. Excuse me, where I stream every day except Tuesdays and other days where I'm not streaming, but usually every day except Tuesdays. So go check out the live stream, give it a follow. Yeah, if you want to keep most up to date on what I'm playing and what I'm doing well with, what I'm playing in tournaments, I stream all the tournaments I play in as well over there. So like I said, Calyrex VMAX, I'm not playing the Zapdos right now because I feel like we can beat Eternatus without it. It's very hard, but it is possible. And I don't think Eternatus is like that much of the meta where I really care that much to be able to beat Eternatus. So 4-4 Calyrex VMAX, 4 Fog Crystal, 4 Quick Ball. I actually play 4 Evolution Incense now. No comms because we don't play a very high Pokemon count. But 4 Evolution Incense because just finding the VMAX is so important. And I was having like, not trouble doing it, but like I wanted to find them faster, more consistently. So I went up to 4 Evolution Incense to help find those faster. Of course, we got the 2 Swell, 1 Mars Shadow to keep Path to the Peak out of play. But we do also play one of our own paths to the peak. We can utilize this up against stuff like Zamazenta, or even late game to combo it with Reset Stamp, go Reset Stamp Path to the Peak at the end of the game to slow our opponent down. Stuff like that. Sometimes in the mid game we could throw it out as well. Just like random turns to be annoying, or late game to try and lock our opponent out of recovery. And then we have 2 Gengar Mimikyu in here, and we don't use 2, or we rarely ever use 2 in a game, but we play 2, so we have that much less of a chance of prizing it, because we like to use this very early on in almost every single game to kind of gain us tempo in the matchup, get us ahead, get us to be the first person actually attacking in the matchup. So we play 2 Gengar Mimikyu for that reason. And then I have 1 Cresselia in here right now because Decidueye is fairly popular, and I'm testing this out as a counter to Decidueye. It might not be the best one, but it also has, other functions. We can use it as an attacker with the Photon Laser. We can use Crescent Glow turn 1, stuff like that. So I'm trying out the Cresselia, see if it's enough to beat Decidueye, because Decidueye is being pretty popular right now. And I also play an Ordinary Rod in here. Not only does it recover Cresselia against Decidueye, but also recovers Mars Shadow, so we can get those pesky paths to the peak out of play multiple times through that resetting hole ability. And then we have 2 Dedenne in here to help us aggressively draw through our deck in our early turns and so on. Dedenne is great, of course. So yeah, that's the list. Nothing super special, but I did want to come at you with my update list. I was having a ton of fun with this the other day on stream. I played a ton of it, and yeah, I was loving it. So of course I'm coming at you guys with it. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games. All right, here we go, getting into our first one. Our opponent is letting us go first, so we're gonna try and set up an energy on a Gengar Mimikyu. Looks like that's not happening with this hand, and actually we have nothing going on in this hand, so this is about as bad as it could possibly get as we open up the Cresselia, and that's about it. And our opponent is playing Mad Party. We're going to attach, pass, and hope we don't get donked. Not only do we have a bunch of energy in this hand that we have to research away next turn, we also have our Ordinary Rod in hand, which makes it that much worse, because then we don't have a way to recover those energy. We're up against Mad Party, so we don't need a ton of energy to take knockouts, thankfully, but still pretty annoying, to be honest. Actually, what we could go for here is maybe a Photon Laser into the Shadow Mist. So Shadow Mist does just win us this matchup if they don't get any energy in play, and they didn't get any energy in play, so we can just go with a Shadow Mist here off the rip, and hopefully just win the game that way. I could bench Gengar Mimikyu just in case I whiff. Then we can house so they can't play any cards. So just in case I whiff, I'm going to bench the Gengar and Mimikyu. And we've whiffed so far. Really straightforward. We just need to use Shadow Mist to win the game. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to thin that out of the deck even. Or we have to house to stop our opponent from having a turn to play the cards. And we whiffed. We whiffed energy of all things. We play 14, 4 Fog Crystal, and we whiffed. Sure. I mean, I guess it sometimes happens. Go ahead, throw an energy there. I don't know how the game is going to go from here. They can get down 1 Twin Energy, and then we could 4-hit KO their Bunnelby, theoretically. They're actually going after my Dedenne here. Or maybe the Gengar and Mimikyu, actually. They could go after the Gengar and Mimikyu. They're going to be doing, what, 120 damage. So I could go into Shadow Mist and 4-hit KO this Bunnelby. But it's kind of scary because this thing could just KO us. I mean, they're already doing what? 160 damage. So they could, if I had to guess, I could think they could get to 210. Like, that's not that big of a number to get to. So I don't think the Shadow Mist game plan is going to work anymore. And we're going to have to come up with something else here. I could go with a Photon Laser for 30 and then clean it up with a Shadow Mist. But they'll be able to stack like another energy in play on a Bumblebee by that point. They did get rid of triple Sinesti, so they only have one Pokemon that can use triple acceleration energy. They just whiffed the knockout, so they're KOing this thing for sure. Go to evolve to the Calyrex. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with a Photon Laser here for 30 and then try and Shadow Mist knock it out, and maybe they'll just run out of energy, to be honest. We'll see. Yeah, we could maybe still get him with the lock here. I'm just gonna try and go for this play. We could have gone for a knockout here, of course, with just like a Max Geist, and maybe that would have been fine as well, because they're pretty low on attackers, and maybe we just run them out of attackers. But they're hitting really, really hard right now, so I don't really want to take that route. It doesn't seem super good. Here's a boss on my Calyrex VMAX. Now this is actually currently stuck in the active. So I do need to find a way to move this. We're down only one switch card, and we got the one air balloon here on the Cresselia. So I got 2 air balloon and a switch left to be able to move this, and I can just harder treat it as well. I can like Underworld Door to the Calyrex V and then attach retreat. And that's why I left it. I didn't evolve this one because I want to keep it open to be able to get the energy here and then Dead A change and then knock out this Bumblebee with the Shadow Mist. And then it says our opponent can't play any special energy from their turn. Okay, here comes a triple. Okay, so if we get boss, now we need boss plus a way to move, knock out the Bumblebee, and we will win the game. That is our game plan at this point. Let's go for it. Get rid of this Marshadow, grab this Gengar Mimikyu, Long Crystal for an energy, and we could even actually just go Shadow Mist the active, and then when they bring up Bumblebee and attack with it, we can then Shadow Mist the Bumblebee. I think I am still going to Dead A change here, though. And if we have to hard retreat to Shadow Mist, that'll be fine. If we get a boss, that's great. We did not get the boss. Got a research instead. How many energy do we have left, though? 9, 10, 11. We don't have a ton of energy left. I'm going to go ahead and throw this here. I'm going to go ahead and switch into this. And I'm not going to play the research, I don't think. Retreat and Shadow Mist. All right. They can't play stadiums, they can't play special energy, and they have 10 HP left on the only Pokemon in play that has a special energy. Yeah, I'm going to hold these because if we top deck Quick Ball or Fawn Crystal, then we can just go ahead and attack. And we have 6 of those left, plus 2 Calyrex V left in the deck. So if we just top deck any of that, it's fine. And we could even draw with the Underworld Door first, because we don't have that many energy left, to be honest. I mean, we do have 3 Fog Crystals to help find them, but we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I also have to be careful of decking out. I can also deck out. So I have to make sure my opponent is decking out first, which they currently are. My opponent is currently decking out first. So once again, we're just going to chill. Got to stay ahead on that as well. My opponent has to be decking out first, which they are. So if they keep staying ahead on that, then that is good for us. I guess you could be drawing some cards here with the Underworld Door. Put 1 here, maybe. Okay, we're chilling. Or when we top deck Boss. Boss would also work. I can go ahead and draw a couple cards here, I think. My opponent has 8 cards left in deck. We have 11. 1, 2. Play this. Nothing left. There's a ton of outs still. And there's that boss in there. The boss would also work. But I can't really afford to research, I don't think. If I research, then I'll deck out first all of a sudden. I do have a Marnie left in there, I guess. Okay, there's the Quick Ball. So now we should be good. We're going to knock out this Poltegeist, and my opponent will knock me out with Bumblebee. And then I have the Quick Ball to get the last. I'm going to go ahead and burn this again. So in case they play Reset Stamp or Marnie, I can't draw into it. Shadow Mist, knockout, get a prize card. Bumblebee comes up, knocks us out, and then we go Quick Ball, grab the Calyrex V, Shadow Mist, knock out Bumblebee, and then they can't play any more special energy, and they have no special energy in play. So then we win the game. And yeah, I guess a Reset Stamp would be the only thing that could stop us from making that work here. Yeah, Reset Stamp or... Nah, just basically Reset Stamp is the only thing I can think of that would stop us from actually winning the game here. They got themselves a Sinesti in play, but once again, like I said, it does not matter because we'll get the Shadow Mist off, and I'm sure my opponent is like, well, they'll probably get the Shadow Mist off here, but I'll play through it anyways and see what happens. And they did put double boss back, so they can actually boss twice here and stall to Dene, but they won't be able to actually stall them because let's go Bonk Crystal, because we have plenty of energy to be able to retreat in the air balloon. Throw this down, attach, retreat. And actually, yeah, and there's the concede. Last Calyrex V, and that's why Mad Party is no longer a good deck, because you just can't beat Calyrex, consistently. It's a tough one because of that kind of situation. All they have to do is go second and go Shadow Mist, and you lose the game if you don't get a Twin Energy down. Even if you do get a Twin Energy down, we still are able to set it up in a way where our opponent could not recover, and we get the dub. All right, here we go again. Can we get another dub with the optimal Calyrex VMAX? We won the coin flip. We do like to go first when we do win the coin flip on average. I guess it depends on the matchup. Sometimes, not too often, I feel like ever though. I feel like we're always usually wanting to go first. We're gonna go ahead and just rock the Gengar Mimikyu in the opening. 2 boss in the hand isn't great alongside the research, not gonna lie. Throw this down, and pass. But we can just go evolve energy house and then we'll have this boss for the next turn. Now my opponent could actually set themselves up in a situation where they actually get 2 energy in the discard pile and attach here, so then if I do house, they can actually knock me out. So we actually can preemptively boss on this next turn. I'll show you what I mean by that. We're gonna boss and then house basically, and then we'll have whatever's in the active we'll have trapped and ready to be knocked out, which looks like it will be this Eternatus V max. It'll become a V max, I guess. Excuse me. And then we're hoping to knock it out. So we're up against Eternatus. Like I said, we don't play the Zapdos. We don't have the Aurora energy, so it's a tough matchup. It is a tough matchup, but it's definitely winnable. Oh, they're actually going to E-switch back. So now they can't attack with Moltres if I GX attack, so I don't have to boss now. I probably will still boss because I'd rather knock out the Eternatus V than the Moltres. Moltres is a lot easier to knock out. Okay, don't have the boss anymore, but this isn't too bad. We should be able to get into the boss with the house plus whatever we do this turn. And this actually gives us more time to set not quite more time, potentially more set up on Calyrex, which we got a little bit. Now I can make a risky play here. Okay, they actually retreated as well. They got the Power Excel though, so I think they're gonna get another energy here, which is not bad, to be honest. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, so we can go like this. I actually had a Rapidash in here at one point, which was super helpful in this matchup that I did take out, which to be honest right here would have been pretty good. I don't have it in here anymore. All right. And that's why this matchup, it is a tough matchup. It is a tough matchup. At the end of the day, it is a tough one. Not too much we can do about it. Just trying to accelerate as much energy in play. Then we're going to house. We're going to knock out our turns as V. Max. Maybe I should have actually put the air balloon on the active. I maybe do want to treat the active. This hand is trash. I actually might dead a change here. I think I am going to, because this hand is so bad. It doesn't help us set us up at all for the following turns. This is quite a bit better. Go ahead and grab a Calyrex V. And then air balloon here. And then play this and get... I mean, if we got 4 VMAXs, we do have all 4 VMAXs. So let's go ahead and get another Calyrex V. Why not? And then... house. House away. What do we get? Get a lot of stuff. And yeah, we'll go from here. We're not getting knocked out next turn, which is nice. I guess I could have tried to get my Path to the Peak and play on the next turn, which I wouldn't have. I would have had to not play this, or maybe just have not played my Swell when I played my Swell. To be honest, I could have just like not played that. But yeah, this is stuck in the active. We can get a lot of energy in play through the Underworld doors. But overall, it's gonna be pretty rough from here. We usually need to get like they had a really clean turn 1, basically. They had a really clean turn 1. We did not want them to have, but they did have it. We're really trying to hope they wouldn't have that clean of a turn 1. I mean, we've got a really clean turn 1, turn 2 here, not gonna lie. But oh, I should have played this once we had all 4 there. I should have played the Evolution Incense. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty clean. Like 4 horse turn 3 is not bad, but Eternatus, man, it's tough for us to beat them. Really tough matchup. Or it can be a really tough matchup. Sometimes it feels like it's just absolutely fine, but this is looking like it's going to be a toughie. I don't even know where I want to go from here, to be honest. I could Marnie and then knock out the active. I feel like that's my best route, but then they just knock us out with the Moltres, which stinks. I could boss knock out. I actually have an energy away from knocking out Moltres, so we can't boss. I think we should have to Marnie knock out the act, or I could just Poltergeist knock out the active now, but even then, what do we do on our following turn? Do we just lose? But I feel like I have to make them whiff, so I think Marnie is the route to take here. I think Marnie's the route to take here because I feel like we have to make them whiff. Can't just let them have all this stuff that they're having. Take away their big hand and then go for the knockout with the Max Geist. But even then, did not have a disruptive enough start to actually win this game, I don't think. So I might save this to be able to draw cards with the next turn because we have 7 in play, which is all we need to get the knockout, unless I'm miscounting, but I don't think I am. So we get the knockout. Then we're gonna get KO'd by Moltres. And then it just gets kind of bad from there, to be honest. We're gonna get KO by Moltres, and then if they don't have a VMAX yet, and then we can Marnie them again. We Marnie them again, knock out the Moltres. Maybe they don't find the VMAX and can't actually get a knockout on the following turn. However, I think that's probably, I mean, it's unlikely, but I mean, that's all we've got to work with here. So we have to hope that is what goes down. And without Zapdos, it's pretty tough, to be honest. Without the Zapdos, it's pretty tough. Because we don't have good answers to so many situations that can kind of come up. They don't have the VMAX yet, though. They are about to get 3 prize cards, though, so we definitely want to Marnie them. We have plenty of ways to get the energy in play that we need to, and I could possibly get Path to the Peak in play to stop the potential of Crobat, because we do have our Marshadow left in our deck. So this actually isn't looking too bad here. 220 should be no problem. 220 damage is no problem at all. So let's go with Quick Ball away that. We got the Marnie now. Grab Gengar Mimikyu. My Path to the Peak is prized, so that's unfortunate. I'm still going to be aggressive about getting stuff out here. And then we'll go with a Marnie, and then we have to hope they just don't get VMAX energy. But, I mean, they could whiff, so... I'll start with some doors. And I'm not going to use the Fall Crystal yet, because I actually want to draw into Psychic Energy here. Door again. And then door again. And then we can go Fall Crystal attach. Play this. Fail it. Fall Crystal. Energy. Attach. Air Balloon. Marshadow, Bump Stadium. Probably play this Fall Crystal as well because we have so few cards left in our deck. I would rather draw into the energy than not, though. And then play Marnie, knockout active, hope our opponent. This is where the Path to the Peak would be really nice. This is the kind of situations we like the Path to the Peak for. Unfortunately, it's prized. So we're going to knock out Moltres and hope our opponent does not knock out my Calyrex VMAX, although I think that is pretty unlikely. In this situation, I think my opponent will probably be able to get the knockout on my Calyrex VMAX. They only need an energy and a VMAX. And a couple bench Pokemon, or even VMAX Energy Boss KO my Mimikyu would also work. So they don't need a whole ton. There's that Path to the Peak, which maybe would have saved us. Of course, we don't know if Crobat is like necessary for my opponent. I guess they could also have attach E-Switch. That would also work. And it looks like they probably have attach. Yeah, so attach E-Switch also works. Once again, Path to the Peak would have prevented this, though. Would have shut down that Dire Flame Wings. Unfortunately prize. So we do take it out to the Eternatus. Like I said, without the Zapdos, it's a tougher matchup, but it's not really a matchup I'm really overly concerned with right now, so I don't play the Zapdos right now. All right, let's get into one more up against Awesome Ninja. Like I said, when the coin flip, we're definitely going to want to be going for a setup for that turn 2 Horror House with the big effect. Draw those cards. Usually set up for like some kind of boss play usually, but even just setting up a bunch of Calyrex and hitting their active is usually good enough as well. So our opponent wins the coin flip and they choose for us to go first. But I said, definitely fine. Definitely fine with that. Gonna open the Gengar Mimikyu itself. And the opening hand, pretty good, to be honest. I like this attach, and we can get down Calyrex V. Got the Cresselia in here. And we're up against Blissey. Okay, so we'll see how this one goes. I don't know what to expect too much from the Blissey matchup. I've never played it from this side, but I feel like it should be fine. I'm not, like, too scared of Blissey or anything. But we'll see how it goes. Attach, Fog Crystal, V. Got 3 Vs in here. V. Gonna hold the Swell, I think, because I want them to put down a Path to the Peak first. They don't really play Hand Disruption, except a couple of Reset Stamp usually. They don't play like Marnie or anything, so I'm not too afraid of Hand Disruption. So I want them to put down a Path aggressively first, and then I counter with the Chaotic Swell. There is an escape rope, but I actually like this for us. I don't want my Gengar Mimikyu to get hit at all, to be honest. Yeah, there's that Path I was talking about, so played around that appropriately. Here comes the Cape. And I'll probably use Gengar Mimikyu. I guess I don't have to use Gengar Mimikyu here, but I feel like I want to still. But we'll see what we draw. We'll see how it goes. Blissful Blast. I can't really attack with it. I could Poltergeist, but I think I should go ahead and House Poltergeist, especially with that little damage coming out from my opponent. Yeah. There's the Swell. And then Underworld Door to the Gengar and Mimikyu. And we're going to house him up and probably punch him. Throw this down. Throw this here. Play the switch, and then play Research as well. I want to find more Calyrex V. As many as possible. That's quite a few. Yeah, that's pretty much all we need. Quick Ball away, Quick Ball. Calyrex V. Throw it down. Air Balloon here, I want to say. Seems best, yeah. And then go ahead and house. And then we're gonna probably gonna Poltergeist next turn. Could even boss Poltergeist if we get the boss. We have a ton of energy in hand. Have all the Calyrex VMAX we need. We did prize one of the Calyrex V, so we can't get out the quad like we got in the last game against the Eternatus. but we can get pretty close. And I think we're just gonna look for a boss and try and KO this one. We could go for the KO on this one if we whiff the boss, and we will just go ahead with the poltergeist and swing and hope they have enough trainer cards, although it's a little bit less likely that they would have the trainer cards. So and I don't think I need to do too much else, so we're just gonna start slinging energy here. And I don't want to use the fog crystals yet because I like as many outs as possible to the energy. Oops, energy. Underworld door. I'm trying to draw into the energy. So now I can use this energy, and I sell the fog crystal around to attach for turn. Kind of keep repeating that process here. Gonna play this, gonna grab this, gonna quick ball it away, grab Mars Shadow to have Mars Shadow set up and ready to go. I don't want to use Ordinary Rod yet. Yeah, there's no energy in there. Bench Mars Shadow. Play Fog Crystal, grab an energy, match the energy, and then go ahead and Poltergeist. And how much are we hitting for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a handful of trainers. That's a knockout. So that was literally 8 trainer cards, 4 Pokegears, and there's the concede. And those are the kind of games, that's why we use the Gengar MMQ. That's why we try and get ahead. And we got super far ahead in that one. Holy smokes. Yeah, wow. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for these games with the Calyrex. Like I said, optimal Calyrex. I feel like this build is so good, so consistent. That's really all you need the deck to be. The card is so powerful by itself. I like playing as many cute one-ups as possible. Right now, I'm only doing the reset stamp in the path, but I want to, like, I had a Jesse and James there at one point, which was super good. Jesse and James was actually insanely good, so I'm gonna try and get that back in the list because you just see so many cards. You're gonna see these one-ups that can have really high impact on games. So yeah, kind of throw in whatever you guys want in there, to be honest. Don't get too crazy with too many one-ups, but you know, like I said, I had the Jesse and James in there before. I got the Cresselia, the Stamp, the Ordinary Rod, stuff like that, and you draw so many cards, it's so easy to find. You know, it doesn't feel like a one-up. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow.